have any idea
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. Today, I have with us the director of a new movie called Rake, and it's going to be screening in Dayton, Ohio at the Neon on February 29th, and from there, it's going to be shooting over to YouTube. I have with us Joshua Matthew. Joshua, welcome to the Horror Room.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. So tell us a little bit about The Rake.
So, The Rake is a 45-minute feature film. It's about four teens. They go to this abandoned Boy Scout camp in the middle of the woods, and they're just going camping for the weekend. And they stumble up across the Rake, and they're kind of in the Rake's territory, so it starts picking them off one by one and trying to get them out of there. And so they have to escape on foot out of the camp, and it goes horribly wrong, as you can imagine. So,
Nice. So what gave you some inspiration for the story?
So, about 4 years ago now, I was with my friend at this campground that we actually filmed at. It was a Boy Scout camp, and I was like, you know what would be cool? A horror movie. And I just watched like a few like creepypasta videos, and The Rake was one of them. I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. I don't want to do something like the Slender Man, because everyone does him.
Yes.
So the goal was to do something unique, and so I chose The Rake, and from then on, for the next like 2 years, me and my friend were talking about it, but never actually did anything about it. And I met a lovely group of people in my media and video class, and we got together. We started a Kickstarter, and we decided to make the thing. So, yeah.
So how long did it take from the origination of the script to actually completing?
So I started the script. That would have been my junior year. So I would have started the script in fall of 21.
Okay.
And I got the idea in early 2020, but didn't actually start until 2021. And so late 2021, I start the script, and we finished it, like completely finished it, a month and a half ago.
Nice. And so, I mean, you're a pretty young guy. So
yeah,
what were
18 years old.
18 years old, man, and you're putting out a feature-length film. What were some struggles that you ran into?
You name it, we had it. I mean, we had every struggle. So the big thing was, I just said I was going to do it, right? I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, I'd taken these video classes. I wanted to be a film director, but I didn't know what I was doing as far as actually making a movie. I could make a video, but a full-blown movie, that was a different story. And so I had no idea what I was doing, but I got my crew together, and the first big issue was location, right? We had $2,000 to spend total. Like, that's all we got was $2,000. And so I was going to make the most of it. We reserved the campground here in Ohio, and it was a Boy Scout camp, and they did not cut us any breaks, even despite us working through the week, and which was their obviously the week they don't really have anything going on. They don't have any troops coming in camping, and they didn't cut us a break or anything. And we were still determined, and so we reserved this campground for 5 days, somewhere around there. I want to say it was 4 days, back in July. And the first problem came about when I went through 3 different actors to play the lead male. And his name's Andy. The character's name is Andy. And I went through 3 different actors, and they all quit on me last minute or had a prior engagement that they had to attend to. So the main character we were missing for the first 3 days. So we had to shoot everything else around that. Then on top of that, 3 days in, my mom reminded me of a friend, or her mom, my mom's friend's son, that he's really into video work and everything. I'd only met this guy once, like back in the 6th grade, and I decided, I'm like, well, I'll give him a call. Maybe he'll play this character, and I did, and he came through. He showed up that night, and we just, I mean, we were up for 24 hours just finishing the movie, and it was crazy. But that was the first challenge. But we fixed that. We finally got someone to play the character. That same night, the main part of our crew got sick and had to go home. Yeah, so it was, and the worst part too, my goal was, don't play a character, right? I didn't want to play a character, but I ended up having to. I had to play a character, and I was the Rake, and directed, and wrote it, edited, and everything else. So at this point, I'm having to act with the 3 other actors, and direct, and shoot the video. So it was just, I mean, you want to talk about a circus. It was nuts. And but we pulled through that final day. We were sitting there thinking, this is hopeless. We only have a tiny portion of this done. And of that 45 minutes, we had maybe 5 minutes shot. A total of 5 minutes shot. And that last night, the one of our crew members that was sick, he felt better, and so he came back, and we were up from 10 in the morning, and we shot from noon all the way until 8 o'clock the next morning. So we shot for 24 hours with a 20-minute break.
And you're saying $2,000? That's definitely a no budget movie.
And for the 5 days, we were renting a campsite and a cabin, so that blew through a good $1,500. And then on top of that, the original costume got butchered. There's a long story that I won't go into with that, but so we decided to make the Rake CGI. And then there were some complications with that. So the next challenge, after we finished filming, we had to then go back out for a night and refilm all the scenes with the Rake in it. And I was in costume because we couldn't do CGI anymore. Yeah. So we had to completely reshoot some of those scenes. So that drained some more money. And just like the whole budget was just location. The costume, we used a morph suit that cost $40.
Jeez. Now, when it came to like the blood and gore, did you use practical? I'm assuming you had to use practical at that point.
Yeah, we used all practical gore. It was, none of us are makeup artists, so it's mediocre at best. But we were still pretty proud of some of the shots we got. There's one scene where my friend's supposed to be laying there dead, and he's got slash marks across his torso, and those actually came out looking pretty good. My other friend, her jaw was supposed to be all mangled, like she had a bite taken out of her cheek, and that looked halfway decent. For some of the not so good effects, we just did a really wide shot and called it good. So
it's the best way of doing it, right? That's the best way of doing it.
Absolutely. Work with what you got. And it got even more complicated after I dumped everything onto my computer, started editing it together, and I think it was in like September. I in September. I get it all stringed together. Wasn't done yet, but got it mostly together, and I'm like, it's 30 minutes long. That's a feature film is 45 minutes. So I'm like, that's not good. So we had to go out and shoot went out and shot an additional 4 scenes. And over the course of 2 different days, and we chose a few alternate locations that were cheap, but were also maybe a little illegal.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you got to do that, though.
Oh, absolutely. The one place we went to, it was a metro park, but it came out on a main road, so it's not like there was a gate or anything. And so we were like, okay, we'll just go in, and my friend's like, oh yeah, my friends go out here and film movies out here all the time. Okay, so we went out, and we get there, it's 11 o'clock at night. That because it had to be dark, and it was still getting dark later, and we had a prior commitment. So we got there at 11. We get out of our cars and start walking with all of our equipment and boxes. And here comes a cop. Pulls up, stops us. He's like, "What are you kids doing back here?" And we had to tell him what we were doing. And he's like, "Now the park closes at 11, but I trust you guys. Go on in." I'm
Nice.
like, "No way!" So we shot until 3 a.m. Came home, slept for 3 hours, and then got up again at 6 a.m. So it was nuts, and that was the big. Those were all the big mishaps that we had, but we pulled through, and we got everything shot, and it looks pretty good. So for what it was, of course. So
what's one thing? So we hear about the things that you're not going to do on the next film. What's one thing that when you finish, you were like, that went really fucking well. I'm going to take that over to my next project.
So one thing that went really well, the final scene that we shot was obviously I've learned a lot at this point, and so that last scene that we shot, and I think it might have actually been November that we shot it. And it was freezing cold, but I was very organized. Had a designated camera person. I was on the other camera. We had a well thought out script for that scene. We made sure to add a lot more dialogue, and we coordinated our shots. A lot of organization is what I would do next time that I did this time. So at least for that last scene, everything else was so uncoordinated. But that last scene that we shot was very, very coordinated, and it shows. And I accounted for wind noise. I accounted for background noise. And we had the location, and we shot it, and it looked great. It looked phenomenal. So I think organization is what I would do. Take my time, and yeah.
And what's one thing great by you? Like, I interview a lot of indie filmmakers, so you probably know, and a lot of them, they don't get started with their first project until they're in their 40s or 50s, even sometime. And like at that point, it's kind of it's a learning curve because you don't know what the hell you're doing, but you're in a rush because you're behind time. By doing it at 18, you have plenty of time to get better, and improve. And that's definitely amazing. Now, who are some horror filmmakers that you've gotten inspiration from?
So actually, my biggest inspiration wasn't horror. My inspiration originally was George Lucas. From Star Wars, and because I grew up, I loved Star Wars. Obviously, you can see in the background all the posters, and the same room I've had since I was in like the 5th grade. So I've always loved Star Wars, loved George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. They got me into film. And then when it came to horror, I got into horror probably my sophomore year of high school. And the big ones were Sam Raimi, which I named every one of the characters. Their last names are named after a horror filmmaker that really, or a filmmaker that inspired me. So Andy, the character Andy, his last name's Carpenter, for John Carpenter. There's Lauren Raimi for Sam Raimi. And then, of course, there was Chris and Tim Lucas. And then the other horror filmmaker would, I think that's it. Sam Raimi and John Carpenter are the two big ones. So
those are good ones. So what's next for you?
So next, we're making a short film right now. It's not a horror short film or anything, but we're in the early stages of making another short film. It's my friend's. He made it and everything, so I'm producing it. I gave him a little bit of money to make it, or am giving him a little bit of money to make it. I'm chipping in for half. And then after that, it's kind of a short film. So then after that, my other friend is wanting to make a full-length like viral infection film. And so I told her I would produce that, and any proceeds that we get from the Neon or from our ticket sales, are going to get rolled over into that film, and I'm going to give that money to her, and that'll go into equipment, location, all that, and yeah, so she'll actually have a budget for her movie too.
And something to speaking about the neon, something super exciting that you're doing is, which a lot of indie filmmakers don't get a chance. You're putting yours up on the big screen, and you're going to be doing a screening February 29th in Dayton, Ohio at the Neon. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I live in Vandalia, which is kind of close to Dayton there, and my friend recommended the Neon to me. I'd never even heard of it, but he's like, if you want to put it in the theater, go there and talk to them. So I went and talked to them, and they were like, "Yep, for $125 or $325, you can rent the theater and play your movie." And I'm like, "Great! Is there any way? Like, are we allowed to sell tickets?" He's like, "Yep, you can sell tickets on your own for however much you want, or through us, and we take only 2.5%."
Wow.
So I decided I was going to go for that. I didn't know how to sell tickets or anything, so I'm like, I'll let you sell the tickets. 2.5%. There's 133 seats, so I figured $10 a ticket, and then I just started advertising. I was like, we'll go from there. So it was pretty nice that I was able to do that. So, but yeah, I had to of course pay for the room and everything, but I ended up getting it. So yeah.
Now, if anyone wants to purchase tickets in advance, how would they go by doing so?
So they would need to go to www.neonmovies.com and then go to events and scroll down until you see the Rake.
Awesome. And by the way, and down in the description box, I'm going to have a link to the website as well. So click on that and definitely jump on that. All right. So as you know, Joshua, this is a horror channel. So I'm going to ask you 3 horror questions.
Absolutely.
All right. The first one, you're a Sam Raimi fan. If you could remake any Sam Raimi horror film, which one would it be?
I don't know. That's a tough one. A little controversial. I didn't really like the third Evil Dead movie, Army of Darkness.
I actually like Army of Darkness.
I wasn't a huge fan of that one, which I know is very controversial. Everyone likes that. I guess I would have made it a little less comical. I'm more into serious horror, even though nothing about my movie is serious at all. I very much enjoy watching serious horror, so I'd probably make it a little bit more serious. But other than that, I think that series is flawless. There's not a whole lot I could do to it.
I agree. That's a good one. Army of Darkness. No one said that. Let's over to the second one. I mean, you're a John Carpenter fan. What is your favorite John Carpenter movie?
That's another hard one. Probably The Thing.
The Thing is everybody's. It's between that and the original Halloween. The original Halloween is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Oh, for sure.
I love The Thing. The Thing is an amazing movie.
I love the effects. There's one scene in particular. They come across the alien when it's all burnt and messed up, and it's the effects were really good. They were way ahead of their time, and I really like the effects of it.
And also too, the character development in that movie is amazing. Like, you got to, know each one of these characters, and you cared about their fate.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the characters were well written, which you don't see that anymore.
No, you don't.
You don't see that in horror movies anymore. You're just like, these characters are annoying. They're just, But in that movie, they were very good, and Kurt Russell was in it. Like, that's
amazing.
Yeah.
All right, last question. I'm trying to think of a good one for you. All right, let's go with this one. Which horror movie character do you feel like you relate with the most?
Oh, that's a hard one. Probably Ash. Ash Williams, or yeah, for sure.
Explain.
Evil Dead. Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Goofy.
even though I wasn't a huge fan of the comedy aspect of Army of Darkness, it was like he was very relatable. I'm like, yeah, it was definitely him.
Ash is a badass character, and he is the greatest final guy in any horror flick
Oh,
by far.
absolutely.
I mean, he is the final guy. I mean, there's
He's the only one. Like
yeah.
you never see that.
I mean, I did my top 5 favorite final guys, and of course, Ash was number 1. But
Oh, for
like,
sure. Yeah.
I mean, you have your Tommy Jarvises for the Friday 13 movies, and there's a couple other ones out there. But like,
Yeah.
Ash is he's the OG, he's the original. He is Evil Dead. I mean, he is Evil Dead. He really is.
Bruce Campbell, he made that franchise.
Yes. And I'm kind of, I even loved, I don't know if you watched the Ash versus Evil Dead show. It was on a couple of seasons on Stars. I love that show. I'm kind of upset, though, that I would love to, listen, I enjoyed the 2 Evil Dead remakes, but I would love to see a remake with Ash in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see, I mean, even if he's in it for a couple minutes, I think Ash deserves a final send off.
He really does. The last Evil Dead movie, I went and saw that at the drive-in with some friends, and it was different, but it didn't hit very right. And then the first remake was okay. There was a lot of gore, but it wasn't the same without Bruce Campbell in it.
Because I feel the same way about. I'll probably get a lot of shit for this. The last Evil Dead, I saw that in the theaters like open weekend, but I remember like people saw it days before on social media. Oh my god, it's the greatest horror movie ever made. Blah 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 blah. And I went there. I was like, this is okay, but
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it was a fun watch. It was worth the money. But it was like the best horror movie of all time. No,
it wasn't even the best Evil Dead movie.
no, not at all. I mean, I think it definitely went there at a lot of points, but it was like it was mostly shock value. There wasn't a whole lot of substance to it. It was like,
I didn't care about the characters either.
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
It's like these characters are meh. They're all right, but
and they were supposed to be like a family, and like I did not get that family bond from them at all.
No, they almost felt like a bunch of friends, like a bunch of just different aged friends that hang out together. It was weird. It was really weird. I'm like, if you want that vibe, go for it. But like, if you're trying to go for the family vibe, they completely missed the mark.
I don't know if it's true. Multiple people have told me that script was written by AI. It was like one of the first AI generated scripts. A lot of people have said that, and it makes sense.
That wouldn't surprise me. Because it felt very very stereotypical without any substance. And I feel like that's what AI would do. It'd take a bunch of these other movies and put them together into one. And yeah, it loses. I feel like a movie loses its value when the script is made from AI. It's like, but
it 100% makes sense because I mean everybody's seen robotic in that movie.
Absolutely.
Okay, Joshua, where can everyone find you, my friend?
So you can find me at my YouTube channel, Alpha Marshall Productions. That's ALPHA-MARSHALL S Productions. And you can find us there on our TikTok, our Instagram, even our Facebook, Alpha Marshall Productions. So you can check us out, subscribe, and check out some of those videos. So we're always putting stuff on there.
Awesome. Listen, if you're out in the Dayton, Ohio area, get over to the Neon and on February 29th and check it out. Like I said, the website is down in the description. Also, too, check out Joshua's YouTube channel. That's where the Rake is going to go. That is also down in the description box as well. Joshua, it's been an absolute blast having you on, man. You're more than welcome. Come on anytime.
For sure. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me promote this on your channel.
No problem at all, man. Anytime, anytime.
No,
All right,
I've seen.
everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. I'll see you next time. Take care.